Have you ever wondered how far someone might go to gain power and prestige? In the ancient forests of India, a remarkable tale unfolded that teaches us timeless lessons about honesty, leadership, and the consequences of deception. This story comes from the Panchatantra, a collection of wisdom-filled fables that have guided generations for over 2,000 years. Deep in a lush forest where countless creatures dwelled in harmony, there lived a rather ordinary jackal named Chandraneel. Like many of his kind, he would prowl around human settlements, searching for food among the leftovers. While other animals took pride in hunting or gathering their meals, Chandraneel preferred the easier path of scavenging. One evening, while sneaking through a village in search of his next meal, Chandraneel heard the approaching footsteps of village dogs. Panicked, he darted into the nearest hiding spot, a large vat of indigo dye left outside by a cloth merchant. As he emerged from his hiding place, his entire body had been transformed into a striking shade of blue, unlike any color seen before on any forest creature. Upon returning to the forest, Chandraneel noticed something extraordinary. The other animals, upon seeing his unusual appearance, began to whisper among themselves. Some stepped back in awe, while others bowed their heads in reverence. In that moment, Chandraneel's clever mind saw an opportunity that would change the forest forever. Standing tall on a large rock, he proclaimed in a commanding voice, "Dear forest dwellers, do not be afraid. I am no ordinary creature. I have been sent by the divine powers themselves to rule over this forest. Look at my magnificent blue color. Have you ever seen anything like it before? This is the mark of my celestial origin." The animals, impressed by his unique appearance and confident declarations, began to believe his words. The mighty tigers, usually proud and independent, found themselves swaying to his authority. The wise elephants, despite their ancient knowledge, were captivated by his supernatural appearance. Even the skeptical monkeys were silenced by his commanding presence. Soon, Chandraneel was proclaimed the king of the forest. He established his court, appointed ministers from different species, and began living a life of luxury. The animals served him devotedly, bringing him the finest foods and building him a magnificent dwelling. To maintain his deception, he sent all the jackals away from his kingdom, fearing they might recognize him for what he truly was. Life in the forest changed dramatically under the blue jackal's rule. He would sit on his throne, passing judgments and making proclamations, while other animals fanned him with large leaves and brought him the choicest fruits and delicacies. His every command was followed without question, and his words were treated as divine wisdom. But power, especially when built on deception, can be intoxicating. Chandraneel became increasingly arrogant, believing himself truly superior to all other creatures. He forgot that his position was founded on a lie, and his pride grew with each passing day. As the ancient Sanskrit wisdom teaches us, Satyamva Jayate, truth alone triumphs. One peaceful evening, as the forest was settling into its nightly routine, a pack of jackals passed near the kingdom. They began their characteristic howling, a sound that echoed through the trees. Something stirred deep within Chandraneel, an irresistible urge he had suppressed for so long. Despite all his pretense and acquired sophistication, he was still a jackal at heart. Unable to contain himself, Chandraneel lifted his head and howled loudly, his true voice echoing through the forest. The sound revealed his true identity to every creature in his kingdom. The spell was broken, and the deception was exposed in a single moment of instinctive truth. The forest fell silent as the reality sank in. The animals realized they had been fooled not by divine intervention, but by simple blue dye and clever lies. Their revered king was nothing more than a common jackal who had played on their fears and beliefs. The anger and shame of the forest creatures knew no bounds. Led by the tigers and elephants, the animals turned against their false king. Chandraneel fled from his throne, running for his life as his former subjects pursued him. His magnificent reign ended as suddenly as it had begun, leaving him worse off than before his rise to power. This tale from the Panchatantra teaches us several profound truths. First, that deception, no matter how clever or complete, cannot last forever. Our true nature eventually reveals itself, often at the most unexpected moments. Second, that power gained through dishonesty is as temporary as footprints on water. And finally, that true leadership comes not from appearance or false claims, but from character and honest actions. In our modern world, where appearances and pretense often mask reality, this ancient story remains remarkably relevant. It reminds us to be authentic in our actions and truthful in our dealings with others. For just as the blue jackal's deception was revealed by his own nature, our true selves will always emerge, no matter how carefully we try to hide them. The next time you're tempted to present yourself as something you're not, remember the blue jackal. Remember that lasting respect and true authority come not from external appearances or false pretenses, but from the integrity of our character and the truth of our actions. For in the end, as the ancient wisdom holds, the truth cannot remain hidden forever, and the consequences of deception can be far worse than the challenges of being honest about who we really are.